Yeah,
Okay,
good. Well, that sounds like a good birthday then.
look at Scott's dog.
Good,
So,
good call volume yesterday too. Jeez.
so cute.
You
Yeah,
want to say hi, Willow?
exactly.
Say hi.
Oh, he's so
Yeah,
cute. She.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. He's so okay. All right, Hugo. What? How? Sorry, was I interrupting something? Or
No, no. So I was just kind of getting their questions that they had when it comes to sellers, but
mm-hmm.
we've kind of listened to the calls that I've done to set up an appointment, but today they really want to get a little bit of an idea of like how do you handle the calls afterwards when it's teed up? What is the conversation you're having? Just tips and tricks because I know that Allison and Dennis and Amy they are coming across a lot of sellers, so just want to make sure we can kind of get them, just give them the tools they need.
First off, I would say we should give them. Um, um, is it Elizabeth? My last two seller
Mm-hmm.
appointment set. We should take those calls and then put them in script practice, and then they can listen to those.
Yeah, definitely. I have the call with Evelyn in front of me. It's 24 minutes. So I'm not sure if you want to listen to it and just kind of.
Look, that's the process. Yeah. I mean, that
Yeah.
went from
Let's
a
look.
cold lead to not ever having any interaction with her to an appointment set. So whether it's 10 minutes, 5 minutes, or 24 minutes, I think there's gonna be nuggets in there for sure. But and I think you're gonna see it's just about asking questions. Right. So I know that's very vague, but you want to role play it, or what would be the best scenario?
I think listening to the call and then allowing us to ask questions on maybe like what we haven't heard it yet, but like maybe why you went that direction or what the basis was behind it. So I think it would be helpful just to listen through it and ask questions during or after.
You want to here? Can I share my screen, or is it?
Yeah, you should be able to share your screen. I have the call in front of me right now. If you want me to play it.
Oh, you do? Okay, go
Yeah.
for it. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah.
That works.
Yep. I have a
The
meeting.
only thing.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
I have a
No, go
meeting
ahead.
with Michelle at 9:30. I don't want to miss
Okay.
that call because she's going to train me on
We'll be
something.
fine. Yeah, I think we'll be
I've
fine.
I've got a 9 o'clock myself, so we'll just go as far as we can.
Okay.
But
Let's play
let's just pick the part, and you guys can ask questions. And
Okay.
Hi, this is Evelyn.
Hi, Evelyn. This is Scott Cotto with Cotto Group Real Estate.
Yes, hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm good. I know you've been speaking to my partner, Hugo, and I wanted to follow up on those two properties in Cerritos. Did you have a minute? Did I catch you at an okay time?
I have
permission based.
minutes. I am
Okay.
going to be leaving out of town, so I'm in the midst of that. But I do want to get your questions out of the way or clarify anything that I need to clarify.
Perfect. Would you like me to go first with my findings on those two Cerritos properties, or did you want to go ahead and ask? Yeah, okay.
No,
So
go first.
I called on both properties. Right now, they have over 10 offers on each property. So at this moment, they're not allowing any more showings as the sellers are in negotiations on picking their multiple counter. They've already sent out multiple counters to both parties, to all parties,
Okay.
on both listings. So unfortunately, those aren't available. But I also understand that Hugo mentioned that in order to purchase maybe one of the a new home in Cerritos that's a fit for your family, for your parents, that your intent was to potentially sell their home in the city of Norwalk, and then you would take the proceeds from the sale to purchase in Cerritos. Is that right?
So yeah, I have a home in Norwalk. I hear I don't know if you looked up the address. I'm border with Cerritos, so more on the Alondra side. So yeah, I need to sell. We need to sell before I purchase, and and I know I'm in a bit of a conundrum here because of the high bids, right? So if I'm not sure I'm gonna want to be bidding so high to compete with some of the folks that are bidding right now. that's why I kind of have gone for the properties that are more of a lateral move. With being with the square footage, I'm not looking to, I'm not looking to expand at all. I just want to be functional. So that way I can compete, right? So if I'm in a bid higher than that, than what it's listed, then I want to be in a position to do that. And then I'm not sure how it's going to work here with Cerritos. So
that's okay. That's where I come in. So here's what we're doing with all of our clients right now that need to sell in order to buy, because it is a little bit tricky. But what we found success in is because there's so much pent-up demand and not enough supply, we're able to negotiate terms that are favorable for our sellers, meaning this. If you were to sell, obviously we've run through the numbers, provide a report that shows you what your home is worth. I'll talk about what's happening in this market. It's just bananas because there's no inventory. So we're able, from the 20 to 30 offers that we're going to get, we're able to negotiate a free rent back for you and your parents to remain in their house for as much as 60 days. So if you close escrow on your Norwalk home, you will now have money in your bank where it allows us to be strong buyers to make competitive offers in the city of Cerritos. And when we get that offer accepted, you don't have to move anywhere. You get to stay in your house until we close escrow on your replacement home. And then you can do your move one time. And it's not going to cost you more money because the new buyers are going to let you rent it for free of charge. And the reason why they're willing to do that is because as long as they know that it's their house and they close escrow on it, they will wait 60 days to take possession because there's just no inventory out there. And knowing that they're going to take possession in that 60-day window, it's worth it to them. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense because I'm going to be that buyer and seller. I'm going to be that buyer that's going to also offer that flexibility. Yeah. But I think that I did put a heart on several properties. Can you confirm which two properties you're speaking of? Because now at this point I've put hearts on several and I forgot what I told Hugo.
Yes, bear with me 2 seconds. Let me just give me 2 seconds. So the ones, multiple offers received. Notes. 13336 Samora Place.
Okay. All right.
And 19421 Almadine Avenue.
Wow, and that was showing as a new listing. Darn. Okay.
Yeah. So Evelyn, the last listing that we just launched, one was in the last one was this past weekend, was in North Long Beach.
Mm-hmm.
And we priced it at $650,000, knowing that it would get bid up. Mm-hmm. Now listen to this. We had that weekend 300 people come through the house, and we received 53 offers.
Wow.
And we're selling it for $760,000, so $110,000 over list price.
Wow.
Yeah. And I could go on another, the one before that was in Stratford Square in Long Beach. We listed it at $899 and we had 14 offers. And the highest offer we got was $1,025,000, which was $125,000 over list price.
Wow. So now that so this is helpful because I want to expand my possibilities. So I know that in terms of priority, I chose Cerritos just because I had Hugo. I told Hugo I like the gardens, and I know my parents like the gardens, and I also right now have beautiful trees, and they can walk to that, and I do too. and I'm finding that that's not the case in some of the homes that I'm seeing. So it's a lot of home, but no garden, right? So I'm not looking for that. So then I'm wondering, so in terms of the geography, I can expand from Cerritos to Bellflower, even Lakewood, if the, if the price works for me, obviously, but also if it's really like going to function for where I need to be moving towards it with my parents and such. So I want to share that because I feel like if I'm sticking with Cerritos, I'm not gonna have that much flexibility, and I need to be able to. I feel like I'm a good, I make good decisions, and I don't want to live in myself. Then I will sacrifice the notion of Cerritos for the space that I need.
Can I ask you a question on what's missing from Norwalk home that you're looking for, or what's wrong with that? What's the challenge with that house?
Yeah. So what's missing for the function of the layout of the house? So the fact that I am going to be co-caregiving for 2 parents with dementia in their 80s. I have 3 beautiful bedrooms. It's a beautiful home. There is no the sleeping space doesn't afford the privacy. The rooms are very close together, and my parents are nocturnal. They talk all night. They're awake all night practically, and so I am then and I end up in the den. My daughter also, because we hear them, and then the restroom is there's a hallway, right, that leads to the restroom. So they are up all night, and we hear all of that. And top of that, so then on top of that, they are opening all the doors because if my dad forgets where the restroom is, so he opens the door, he sees a hallway, he sees doors. Even if we leave the light on to the restroom, he thinks that he needs to open all the doors. And then finally he goes to the restroom. It's not that big of a house. It's only 1,320 square footage with a den, a fireplace, and the layout for 2 people is perfect. Even for a family is perfect. But for 2 elders with dementia, and that stay up all night, that is the issue. So
you're looking for something with a little bit larger footprint, more square footage.
Yeah.
Bedrooms on maybe opposite ends of the house.
Yeah, so something along those lines where, even if there was like a bathroom dividing the bedrooms, right? If there was something that could create some buffer between the rooms, that would be fine. That's why it's not it's kind of like a tricky layout because it's perfect for a family, but it's spacious, and it has a beautiful little patio. All of those things are there. A huge driveway. All of that is there. So why would I want to get rid of it? The answer is I don't want to get rid of it. It's hurting me to have to get rid of it. And I told my daughter, we're never getting rid of this house because I've already, I bought it. It was upside down and I turned it over. I flipped it, right? At that time, that was not a term, but that was something I did, and I just got it to the point where I am comfortable and love my home. And now it's not working. Right. So that's the issue. That's the issue, Scott. And that's why it's like I'm seeing these houses, and I'm like, what I'm looking for is this house in a different location with more function. And I don't want to tear the walls here. I don't want to do that because I know that's a domino effect for many issues. And I need it. It's what it needs to do is I need to uproot myself.
Right. Understood. Okay. Well, I know it sounds like you're heading out of town, and Hugo mentioned that you'll be back next week. How does this sound? What if I start working on market analysis of what your home would sell for in today's market? And then while you're gone, you let me know what other areas. I already wrote down Bellflower, Lakewood, Cerritos, and surrounding neighborhoods. And I start honing in on some opportunities. I do believe that whatever I do find today, multiple offers are coming on the market within the first 24 hours. So likely whatever I show you will probably be gone. But the whole exercise is I just want to figure out exactly what might make sense for you. So I have a better idea. And then when you return to town, we could go over the value of your Norwalk home. I could show you, all the encumbrances, expenses of what it would look like to sell. And I could provide you a seller's net sheet of how much equity you have. And then you could take that number to your lender, or I have a lender that I could refer to you. So you could figure out what your buying power is, or more importantly, what you're comfortable with your mortgage payment. And then that will tell us, well, then we can afford X amount. And then we can really hone in on your search based on that sales price, because you're comfortable with that monthly payment. And then we'll start looking in neighborhoods. And then if everything looks okay to you, then we would put your house on the market. And then, within a week, we would secure a buyer for top dollar. And then we would open escrow. That's a 30-day process, get you your 2 months free rent back. And now we can aggressively start making offers on your replacement property for your family. And then, like I said, ideally we would get your offer accepted, open escrow 30 days after that. Then when we close, we can move all of your, the movers can move from Norwalk to wherever the new city is.
Yeah, I think so. I think that sounds like a good plan. I had given Hugo a couple of dates, times for next week. They work for you. I have a very hectic schedule, so Fridays tend to work for me. It could be a morning. It could be a morning. Right now, Friday 11th, or afternoon meeting. Right now, it still looks good. Thursday, if we're gonna go with Thursday, that's gonna have to be after 5:30. Oh, wait a minute, I'm here on Thursday. I'm working from home. That's gonna have to be after 3 o'clock.
How about we do Friday at 10 a.m.?
Okay, let me block that.
Does that look okay for you?
Let me block that. So 10 a.m.
So that would be, let me look at my calendar. That would be the 10th. I'm sorry, the 11th.
The 11th. That's right, at 10. Yeah, okay. I have it blocked. I haven't, I'm working from home today. And then right now it looks good. And, so that's fine. So the question I had for you was, because of this competition, is there an opportunity where you anticipate what's going to go on the market, so I have a chance once I know like the numbers that I am dealing with, once I know what I'm going to be comfortable with, because I can tell you I'm going to bid $1 million. That's not going to be me. So Scott, I know that. So it was like, if it turns out that that's what I need to do, then I'm going to have to take a huge sigh, just what I did, and just grin and bear it and not sleep for the next, 5-10 years that my parents stay with me. So, but I hope they stay with me for longer in this life. So, so that's where I'm at. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna do the 1 million. I could do close to that. I could do 99999. But the numbers have to make sense for me. So that's why my main question is centered on: can we anticipate? Can we work with sellers to get my foot in the door before it hits the ground, and I have a chance? Because otherwise, I don't think I have a chance.
Right. Well, I think part of that equation is just, presenting where I do believe, because again, I know we'll be able to tell you what your home is worth today's market. However, because there's no supply, I can also let you know where I believe you're going to get buyers bidding up to. And that's what I'm going to put together a seller's net sheet based on two scenarios. Here's where market level is, but here's where I believe the pent-up demand is going to offer this amount. And if that holds true, this is how much money you're going to make from it. And as long as I can provide you with all the pieces to the puzzle, I think that's the information you're looking for to decide whether this makes sense financially for you and the family or not.
That is true. That is true. And okay, so I think we have a game plan that I'm comfortable with.
Okay.
And Scott, another kind request, please. When I have done assessments for my house before, for interest rate that's lower and all of that, I found that the assessments that the assessors did, they do with the 1 mile radius or whatever the criteria is. But what happens is that the data that's pulled is from a different part of Norwalk, like say the north part of Norwalk or some other part of Norwalk that is not comparing apples to apples with where I'm at. My home is right at the border of Cerritos. It does, the homes sell differently. So right across from me, for example, it's a 3-bedroom, but the square footage is 967 or something along those lines. My home is 1325, something like that. I don't have the numbers exactly, but so the home right across from me sold for 665. Mm-hmm. So with 960 something square footage. Okay, so I know, I'm not sure if that is going to pop out. I know there's another house on Moret that sold. I know that was completely revamped. So anyway, what my ask is, if you can pull those homes around this area as opposed to way over there, close to Pico Rivera, where the property is lower.
Right. Just curious, those properties across the street, because I know you had mentioned that you're really close to Cerritos. Are those defined as, is that in the Cerritos zip code?
We are still a Norwalk zip code. I am still, the one across the street is still Norwalk. It's a blue field.
Yeah.
So, but so it's a Norwalk zip code, but let me tell you where it's an ABC school district. So I am in the ABC school district, not in the Norwalk or LA school district. So I think those are criteria that I feel will matter in how you pull the assessment, the analysis. So I'm giving you a heads up because I had to do that before with other, it's not pricing like this or it's not pricing. I said, no, you pulled the wrong area. Or the data pulled the wrong area, right? Even if it was 1 mile radius, I go, well, no, but this is Cerritos. I paid for this house because of the school district as of being able to go to Cerritos.
Yeah, that definitely will carry a lot of premium to it. Understood. And I'll make sure that I take note of that and take that into consideration for sure.
So I think that's my main thing. And I think, once I know I have numbers and you have numbers, and then of course, there's more things that I've done to this house. Like the entire plumbing, I changed that in 2021. I've been repainting, the space, and I'm about to paint my kitchen, just because it just needs to look fresh. My patio in the back, patio, and it's privately fenced and has the fruit trees, orange trees, guava trees, other trees, lemon trees. It's just pretty out here. I'm here now. I don't know what else. I mean, when you review it, it might not show. I painted the outside too, like the trimming. I know painting is not but it just looks better. I think presentation is important, and I do think that my house presents well. And there's central air heating. Because I've been owner for a long time, I don't think you'll see those changes on the public profiles.
Got it. Okay. Well, what I'll do, we'll definitely compile the report, and then when I have an opportunity next Friday to walk the home from it, we can adjust. I can make the adjustments. But I'm confident that we'll be able to provide the detailed report that you're looking for. One last question that I had in creating the seller's net sheet of what you would walk away with if you were to sell based on today's market conditions. What do you currently owe on the mortgage so then I can show you exactly what you're going to walk away with?
Yeah, I owe around $365.
Okay, perfect. Okay, terrific. Then I'll bring that seller's net sheet as well. And I think I've got everything I need. Did you have any more questions for me? And certainly we could communicate as well between now and next Friday. So if anything does come up after this conversation, we can still address those as well.
Yeah, no questions. I just want to be respectful of each other's time. So that's why I was like, I am, I have been working with another realtor, but I think her area is some other area. So it's been a little bit hard, but then, so that just so that you know, and I think Hugo may have informed you. And so, but I told Hugo, if it works with Scott, I will go. I will move. So that's, I want to make sure you knew that.
Okay, terrific. Yeah, well, I am excited to meet you. I appreciate the opportunity to earn your business. And I think you'll find value once we meet. If it all makes sense for you and you're comfortable with us and the value that we bring, it would be great for us. I would love to work with you.
Okay, well, thank you, Scott. I appreciate this conversation and look forward to meeting you. And we'll be in touch. Have a wonderful
Did I lose you?
No, I'm here. Hello?
Evelyn, are you there?
I'm still here. Hello?
Oh, sorry, my headphones kicked. Oh, I apologize. My headphones.
It's
Bluetooth.
It's okay. Thank you, Scott. Thank you so
Evelyn.
much. Okay. Have a wonderful weekend. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, you too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Nice.
That was great, Scott.
Little long there. She's a talker. Hi.
And
So
so she's been working with another agent, so she knows what, I guess what the deal is. She knows how we're coming up with the comps and all of that, and she's very specific.
yeah.
So
Any ahas though, good or bad, or just observations?
Yeah. I feel like she's looking for the house.
Not you.
Oh, okay.
I think that you really started pulling back on the layers once you asked what was the issue with the current house, and I think that's when she just like opened up completely, because that was really the driving factor. So
yes, like you could hear it like ding, like in her brain, like, okay, he just asked me why I want to move out of this house, and she just opened up right there. Like that was so good. Yeah.
Well, that's a nice observation. Yeah.
But she's definitely, I think she's not going to be, she's very specific. Like she doesn't want to spend this much, $1 million, but she wants to make sure that she gets the Cerritos value when she's in Norwalk. So I think, I don't know. To me, she sounds like she's going to be a little bit difficult.
Yep, good observation. Because just once we download this, and I'll share how it went when I met with her. But was there any other things that stood out?
I mean, I just feel like you really know what you're doing. Like you know how to segue into things. You ask a question and then you go, and you're asking a question so that. Because you already know what's coming next. So you're asking a question so that way she answers you what you want, what she's going to say. And then you segue into the next question, like so smoothly. I don't know. And I mean, I guess that just comes with experience,
That's right. Yep. It's just practice. But you're exactly right. I'm asking questions that are specifically going to get a response that I want that is going to segue into the next question.
And also listening. You kind of, it was like 75 of her and then 25 of you.
Yeah.
The power of silence, of just letting her speak.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all yes, and that's a great point, Amy. They just want to be heard. That's it. And most salespeople try to go over them and then cut them off or tell them what they think they're trying to say and not just letting them exhale and just get it all out. That's why it was so drawn out. I even noticed moments that I probably should have just went in for the close. But for whatever reason at the time, I didn't feel it was right. But hearing it again, I definitely think I could have probably expedited it, but whatever. The end result still came through. But fast forwarding, so then I met with her, and Allison, your observations are on point. She and her daughter were very timid, very scarce, very, afraid that I was going to sell them something. Really wanted me to understand their situation. Over our conversation, she came to self-realization that Cerritos might be out of her realm, even though she's qualified for 9 something. She didn't want to go to 9 something, like $1 million. She wanted to stay at 875. And then she said, I said, so, Dennis and I did this on our last, or we didn't do this on our last listing appointment. I told Dennis, I forgot to say what I normally do is, what do you think? Where should we go from here? And it's such a great question to ask. And I totally forgot that when Dennis and I went on his listing appointment, but that just kind of frames it up like, okay, terrific. When you get that weird silence and you don't know how to close it, you just ask that question, so where do we go from here? And then you just go silent again and you make them respond first. Because it kind of sits the presence again and they're thinking everything and processing everything through. And she goes, well, I think I'm ready to sign. And I said, that would be terrific. And then she looks at Lee, her daughter, and goes, Lee? And she goes, well, I don't know, Mom, this is your house. You should do what you want to do. I mean, this is something you've wanted to do. And Lee didn't say yes. And so her mom kind of read into that. She goes, and we were, the paperwork was already on the table, and I'm just waiting for them to kind of do their little thing, and then the mom goes, well, Lee, okay, well, maybe we should talk about it then. And she goes, Scott, let me and Lee talk about it. I'm good to go. Let me talk to Lee, and I'll call you this afternoon. But I'm inclined to move forward right now. And I said, okay, well, why don't we go over the paperwork right now together? So you can, then I went over the paperwork just to see if I could get them to sign it right then without pushing it. And then we went over it. And then she said, well, can you also DocuSign this? And I said, yeah, I can certainly do that too. I probably should have said, why don't we go ahead and sign it now? And then you guys can talk it over. And assuming everything is still a green light this afternoon, then we're good to go. If not, then I'll just shred this up or I'll put it on hold until you're ready. But I didn't push for it. And I said, okay, no worries. I felt like I had it in the bag. And then fast forward, it's kind of 3-4 o'clock. And I'm going, gosh, she said specifically, I'm not one to sit on anything. I'll call you this afternoon. So I kind of knew something. She was getting cold feet again. He's this type that has to be pushed over the ledge. And so I followed up with her and she goes, oh, she didn't pick my call. So I left her a voicemail. Hey, I know you said that, this afternoon, one way or another, more than likely you're ready to move forward. So I'm just checking in. It's the end of the day and wanted to see where you're at, or more importantly, if you had any questions I can answer. Something pop up that you'd like to ask me, call me back. And then she left me a voicemail or a text, a long text, and said, we just went to another open house. It was a Friday, and this property just wasn't going to work for us. I don't think I'm going to find anything that I'm going to like. And so I'm not sure if I want to move forward and sell my house if I can't find anything. So it's going all the way back to the very beginning.
Yeah.
So now I've got to get in front of her again to go and redo everything all again. I can't just go straight to the end result and say, remember when I told you that when your home is sold, you start to look at homes a little bit differently? your home's not sold yet, so you're scrutinizing every property we see. But I promise, I can't go directly to what I want to say. I have to go all the way back to the beginning and start this whole process over again. If I don't, then I'm dismissing and bypassing all of her concerns. So I have to get in front of her again, and then we got to start this process all over again, and I got to listen to her again and get her back into that space that we were in last Friday to then get her to sign it on the spot. And that's where we're at right now. Now I'm sending her listings and checking in with her. She's still active looking at all these properties in Cerritos. And now I'm nudging her and I'm sending her other listings. Like, did you see this one? And again, through Ylopo, I can see that she already viewed this one 9 times. So I'm sand selecting and I'm pushing a listing to her.
Oh, okay.
Just because I know she's interested in that property.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. So you're sending her stuff that she was already looking. I didn't think about that because I have been viewing like my potential buyers, they're looking at houses, but I'm not sending those to them directly, so.
You see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
So here, actually, here's Evelyn. She's right here. So I go like this. I click on her stars link right here.
Mm-hmm.
She was just on our site an hour ago. And so what I do is I go manage, push listing. I click this little button right there. Meetgoogle.com is sharing your screen. Why can't it? Okay, hide that. So she looked at this one 14 times 2 days ago, or 12 times.
Mm-hmm.
Generate link. Why isn't it doing it? Is it because I'm on screen share? It looks different.
It was right there. Generate link.
Yeah, but then look at this. Oh, well.
Right there.
Okay. Typically, though, it gives me a email and says, "Hey, I found this property for you," kind of thing.
Oh.
But same thing for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. But then I can go back here, and then I'll go like this, and I'm gonna text her. I'm gonna do it right now. Hi. You're having a great week. Game boss this property, and I thought so.
Oh, that's how you do it. Okay.
What do you think? And so I'm always going to ask a question because I want her to respond.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what her response is. I just want to get back into rapport with her.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I'll do a little Hugo emoji.
All day.
Where's a nice smiley face? Why are these all weird smiley faces? Am I missing it?
I think the very beginning.
Oh, here. There we go. Maybe a space. Boom. So again, that's it. So now, I know she's going to sell and it's mine to lose. The other agent probably gave up on her, who she met with. I also believe the other agent, devalued her home, gave her less than what she thinks it's worth.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that was really good.
All right. And then we could send another one. There's the other, I'll work with Hugo and get other calls that we've had, but you're going to see the same pattern. It's just listening to them and then knowing what questions to ask.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
I do have one quick question before we get off. Like the client or the lead that I spoke with on Saturday, you know, she said she needs to sell her mom's house in Huntington Beach and then buy in Santa Ana. I you know, I was in contact with her and we had a really good conversation. She even gave me a compliment like, "Hey, Allison, you're doing such a good job. I could tell you're a hard worker. Thanks, you know, whatever." And then when I texted her the next day to see if she had looked at our Google website, she was like, "You're stressing me out. This is too much. I'm not ready." I was like, "Oh my God. Like, what do you do from there?"
Yeah. I mean,
You know?
again, I probably would say, sorry, that's not my intent. I just know that when we spoke, I could sense that, you were looking to make, like, you gotta paraphrase and use their reasonings against them.
Okay.
Right. And so it's just being apologetic. Sorry, that wasn't my intent. I just know when we last spoke, you had a sense of urgency. So I just wanted to follow up. Again, maybe instead of asking, "Hey, did you review the information about us?" Maybe, instead of, because where do you go from there? So she says, so let's just say she says, "Yes, I did review it." Then what? Right. So I think the question that I might ask would be, do you think it would be, would it be okay to ask you to do a text introduction with your brother? That way I could apply for the job, something to help move the needle. Because she basically told you, "I'm not the decision maker. My brother's doing the interviews. So we need to get in touch with the decision maker."
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So that might be something instead of, "Hey, what did you think of the information I sent?" Because then if they don't respond, or they say, "Oh, I did respond," or "I did review it, it looked good." So maybe it might be something asking for, just following up from our conversation from yesterday. Based on what you're telling me, I believe that we could help you sell in Huntington Beach and buy in Santa Ana. We would love to apply for the job. Is it possible that I could ask you to do a text introduction with your brother to see if I can earn an appointment with him?
Okay.
Everything is very permission based. So meaning when you don't know where you are in the process with them, if they're not gravitating towards me, you could sense in that call everything I was asking, what we could do. I'm going to do this and I'm going to put a sales net in. You're going to see how much equity you have. And if it makes sense to you, then perhaps you would want to move forward with the sale of your home. If it doesn't, at least now you know. Right? So it's always kind of testing the waters. And when they start saying, yeah, that'd be a great idea. Once I start getting them to say yes, then it goes from permission-based into then telling them, "Let's do this. Evelyn, based on what you're telling me, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ... and you're going to ... and I'm going to see you next Friday at 10 a.m. Sound good? Perfect. I look forward to it." But before that, it is dancing on eggshells with a lot of permission-based questions.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. We'll do more of these calls. And like I said, Hugh and I will dig up some other ones and we'll share them on Slack. So that way you guys can just listen to them on your leisure and you'll just see the same kind of patterns.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Thanks, Scott.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much.
Happy Wednesday. All right.
Happy Wednesday.
Okay.
See you guys in a
Bye-bye.
bit.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.